A lot of new students come to me and say, look, I want to be gigging within a year, and maybe they've been playing for 4, 5, 6 years or something, and they're pretty good. So I have and this gets into part 2 here, I have a routine that I'm going to recommend as kind of a staple for practicing. Not something necessarily to do every day, but something to keep coming back to when you don't have an idea of what to practice. Okay. Now I invite anybody who's listening that hasn't gotten onto the chat room to go ahead and do that. Simple chord, devising a simple chord melody. Okay, because sometimes I notice that students they overcomplicate things, and they bring in something that's so intricate in the lesson they can't play it. And I said, well, can you play me just a simple chord melody? And they go, no, I can't do that. Well, just play me the melody. No, I can't do that. Well, and I'm not saying that everybody's like this, but a lot of times people, when they work something out, they're not thinking about, okay, it's important to actually know this melody and know these changes separately, and then be able to do a very simple chord melody just so you can hear the chords and the melody together. A lot of times people, they try to get too complex too soon. So here's what I mean by simple melody. Every one of these chords you know. I'm not going to win any awards for creativity here. Counterpoint, there's, it's fine. It actually sounds good that way. Doesn't a lot of times need a lot. So yeah, all right. So be basic, be able to be basic, because sometimes that's even the best sounding thing that you can do. At that thing that I have in the first couple of levels of tune-based practicing is to be able to pick out a simple melody that you've heard, since you were a kid. Now, I find that a lot of times this is an overlooked sort of thing, that people get into the guitar so much, and which is fine, but what about the music that's already in your head that you've been hearing and singing? Get that out too. Get that out of the instrument, because it feels good, and also it helps you figure out a lot of things. And so let's say, I was thinking about the melody When the Saints Go Marching In, because that's a simple melody, but it's kind of a hip melody too, right? You could do, Pop Goes the Weasel if you want. Wes Montgomery quoted it, right? Good enough for him, good enough for me. But so let's say, you pick a key to do this in, I don't know, I'm thinking B flat, maybe it's in B flat normally. So now, of course, I already know the chords to that tune. Suppose you don't know the chords to that tune. In fact, you don't even know what note it starts on. You have to think, boy, does this start on the root? Does it start on the third? Does it start on the fifth? Does it start, and this is all things that you can work out in your head away from your instrument even. You could say, what is the first note of that? Learn it in 5 places in a fingerboard. So, learn it there, like, learn it there, learn it maybe, learn it there. Figure out the harmonies and try to put the harmonies underneath it. So you've got, now if you want, you can go to a 4-chord. You can keep it more triadic. Go to the 4-chord major. You can go, you could, maybe you want to go to an E flat dominant 7th. So you could try out different different chords, and this is cool, and it's almost getting back to what we were talking about earlier with the pitch axis exercise. Is that whatever chord you want to harmonize with that melody, just give it a shot. So try down here. I like the 4 chord. Let's see what the 5 chord sounds like. With my right hand, I'm playing a D Dorian scale in 5th position. Okay, so I'm going to go down, up, down, down. I'm just going to follow the gravity of the pitch. Down, down. Okay, it's down, up, down. I go to a new string, so I'm going to stay with the stroke that I just did. Down, up, down. And now I change strings, so I'm going to go down again. So every time I change strings, whatever direction the pick is going in, and when you're going this way, it's going to be downstrokes. When you go back up, it's going to be upstrokes. So that's consecutive picking.